Hello everyone, my name is Multra Enoch and this is the continuation under the revision of logarithm and exponential. So we ended on question 3, so we are going to question 4, which says solve the equation 2x to power 2 to power 2x plus 1 plus 1 is equals to 2 to power x plus 1 plus 2x. So we can start answering. So we have been given plus 1 plus 2 to power x. So you have to be very careful when answering this kind of questions. So one thing that should come in your mind is indices. So for them to add these two, that simply means that the bases were the same, that is 2 to power 2x multiplied by 2 to power 1. So the bases are the same, so they added the what? The power plus 1 is equals to, that is 2x multiplied by 2 to power 1. For them to add, the bases were the same, so they added the power since they were multiplying. So plus 2 to power x. So therefore let 2x be the letter of n of your choice. In this case I'll say k. So that is, so I'm cutting this part, this whole part to x. So 2 to power x, meaning we're going to have k square times 2, that is 2k plus 1 is equals to, that is 2k plus k. So writing like that simply means that this is just the same like that one. So when you add, that is 2k square plus 1 is equals to 3k. So that is 2 power k. When this one crosses the equal sign to become negative 3k plus 1 is equals to 0. So from there it's a quadratic now. It's a quadratic equation. So that is product, which is positive 2, is 2 times 1, and then the sum, that is negative 3. Factors, numbers that when you multiply and add to give you the sum and factor. So what are those? So you are adding negative 1, also negative what? Negative 2. So when you multiply you're getting positive 2. When you add, negative 3. So that is 2k square minus k minus 2k plus 1 is equals to 0. So you just group them and then you factorize. So what is common? That is k. You're remaining with 2k minus 1. What is common? That is negative 1. So there, that is 2k minus 1 equals to 0. So you couple these two, that is k minus 1, then 2k minus 1 is equals to 0. So either k minus 1 is equals to 0 or 2k minus 1 is equals to 0. So from there, make k the subject of the formula, that is k is equals to 1, that one, that is 2k is equals to 1 over 2 over 2. So that is k is equals to 1 over 2. Now you have to recall that 2 power x is equals to k. So that is 2x is equals to the value of what k that you have calculated. So this is 2 to power x equals to, I'm going to write 2 to power 0, because a number raised to power 0, that is what? 1, like that one. So the bases are the same, get the power. So x is equals to 0. So what about this one? That is 2x is equals to k. So which is 2x is equals to 1 over 2, which is 2x is equals to 2 power negative 1. The bases are the same, get the power. That is x is equals to negative 1. So these are the possible solutions that were supposed to be on that question. So we can now proceed to the next one. So if you find this video interesting, please don't forget to subscribe, like the video. So the fifth one, they are saying prove that log of base a over b is equals to that one. So we can also answer that one. So they are telling us to prove log a over what? B is equals to what? Log a minus log a over b. So when proving, there are just few steps that you should abide to. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to let this part here, you can start from anywhere, but I can advise you start from that part which is complicated. So that is, let log a of that is equals to any letter of your choice, that is k. So this one is going to shift that one. So we're going to have a is equals to what? A to power k as your equation 1. And then the second one, get the one that has remained that side. So log a of what? B is equals to what? N letter of your choice, that is x. So this one is going to shift that one. So that is b is equals to a to power x. That is your equation what? Equation 2. Now what you are going to do is that, since you have seen that this part you are dividing there, so what you are going to do is that you are going to divide, so divide that into that. So that is a is equals to a to power k over, you are dividing b is equals to a over x. So Here when you divide A, divide B is equals to AK divide AX. That simply means that you are having A over divide B is equals to AK divide AX. That is A over what? B is equals to, the bases are the same. When you are dividing, subtract the power. That is K minus what? X. Now introduce log A to the both side. So that is log A of A over what? B is equals to log A of A K minus X. Now you are having that side log A of A over what? B is equals to, the power is going to drop K minus X log A over A. So log A of A, this is equivalent to what? 1. So you are having log A of A over what? B is equals to, what is K? So when you go back, what is K? Your K is equivalent to that. So you're going to write log A of what? A minus, what is the value of X? So your X, you said X is equivalent to that. So that is log A of what? B. So this part is similar to that part. So therefore, hence proven. So this is how it was supposed to be answered. So we can proceed to the next one. Number 6, they are saying solve the following logarithm equations. So the first one we have A. So A, that is, we are having A to be log x minus 1 plus log x minus 1 is equals to 1. So from here what you are going to do, when there is addition symbol, so there is a concept or the identity that you should know, that when you're having, let's say for instance, log A of B plus log A of A, like that. This is the same as you're multiplying log A of B times A whenever there is addition symbol. So make sure you know this is a concept or identity that you should abide to. So since here we are adding, that simply means that I'm going to multiply these two. So that is log x minus 4 multiplied by x minus 1 is equals to 1. So bear in mind to say that this is the special log. So when it is just like this, it means that the base is what? 10. So this number, which is 10, is going to shift that one. So I'm going to have x minus 4, x minus 1 is equals to 10 to power 1. So that is x times x square, x times negative 1, negative x, negative 4 times x, negative 4x, negative 4 times negative 1, positive 4 is equals to what? 10. So x square, that is negative 5x plus 4 is equals to 10. Now x square minus 5x plus 4, this one is going to cross the equal sign to come this side to be negative 10 is equals to 0. So that is x square minus 5x minus 6 is equals to 0. This is a quadratic, so product sum factor. So product, that is 1 times negative 6, which is negative 6. Sum, that is negative 5. Factors, number that you can multiply and add to get those two values. So that is negative 6 and 1. So you replace the same way we are doing it, that is x square minus 6x plus x minus 6 is equals to 0. Group them, then you factorize what is common there, that is x. So you're meaning with x there, minus 6 plus what? Plus 1. X minus 6 equals to 0. So you couple these numbers, you couple these two, that is x plus 1, x minus 6 equals to 0. So either x plus 1 equals to 0 or x minus 6 is equals to 0. So x is equals to negative 1, x is equals to positive 6. So these are the two solutions. So that is how it was supposed to be. So we can proceed to the next one. So the next one, that is b. So we can also solve that one. So b is log 3 log base 3 of x minus 4 over log base 3 of x plus 3 is equals to 0. So since the bases, they are the same, so it's just the issue now of what? Letting. So if they are the same, you have observed to say they are the same or similar, just let them. So let log base 3 of x is equals to any letter of your choice. In this case, I'll use k. So that is k minus 4 over k plus 3 is equals to 0. So multiply the equation by what? By k. So that is k square minus 4 plus 3k. For this k and that, they are going to cancel. That times that is equals to 0. That is k square plus 3k minus 4 is equals to 0. So product sum factor. So product 1 times negative 4, which is negative 4, sum positive 3, factors numbers that when you multiply and add to get those two values, that is 4 and -1. So that is k square plus 4k minus k minus 4 is equals to 0. Group them. From there, factorize what is common. So that is k, open brackets, k plus 4. So what is common there? -1. There you're remaining with that. Plus 4 is equals to 0. So couple these two numbers, you collect them. That is k minus 1. Since these two are similar, get 1. That is k plus 4 is equals to 0. So that is either k minus 1 is equals to 0 or k plus 4 is equals to 0. So k is equals to 1. When this negative crosses the equal sign to become positive 1. So k is equals to -4 because it has crossed the what? The equal sign symbol. So recall that is log 3 is equals to k. So that is log base 3 of x is equals to 1, the value that you calculated there. So this one is going to shift that. So x is equals to 3 to the power 1. So x is equals to 3. And then to the other part or other side, that is log 3 x is equals to -4. So this one will shift that. So x is equals to 3 -4. X is equals to 1 over 3 to the power 4. So x is equals to 1 over what? 81. So these are the possible solutions. So we can proceed to the next one. So this is the last one that we are having, that is square root of log of base 5 of x is equals to log of base 5 of the square root of x. So we can also answer that one. So we are having square root of log base 5 of x is equals to log base 5 of square root of x. So this is remain constant. Log 5 of x is equals to log base 5. So this one is the same as writing like 1 over 2. That is what it means. Now the rule that this one is going to drop. So that is square root of log base 5 of x is equals to 1 over 2 log base 5 of x. Now since these two are similar, so let log base 5 of x is equals to any letter of your choice, in that case k. So that is square root of what? K is equals to 1 over 2 k. Here there is log base 5 of x, replace it with k. So that is square root of k is equals to k over 2. So over 1, cross multiplication, that time that 2 square root of k is equals to what? K over what? Over 2 over 2. So there they are going to cancel. you're going to remain with the square root of k is equal to what? K over 2. So to kill that square root, introduce a square to both sides. So that one goes. You're remaining with k is equals to that k square over 4 over 1 cross multiplication. So that is k square is equals to 4k. So from there, k square, this one is going to cross the equal sign so that it becomes a quadratic. Negative 4k is equals to 0. Factorize what is common. So k is common. So you're remaining with k. So there you're remaining with what? K minus 4 is equals to 0. So either k is equals to 0 or k minus 4 is equals to 0, which is k is equals to 4. Now you have to recall. So recall that you left this part. So you answered your value of k to be what? To be 0. So log. So recall that is log base 5 of x is equals to k. So the first one was k is equals to 0. So log base 5 of x is equals to 0. This one is going to shift that. So x is equals to 5 to power 0. A number is 2. Power 0 is what? 1. And then the other one, that is log base 5 of x is equals to, your answer to be what? 4. That is x is equals to, this one is going to shift that 5 to power 4, which is x is equals to, that is 625. So these two are the possible solutions. So if you find this video very interesting, so please don't forget to share, like and subscribe, also to comment, so that if anything we can resolve. So if you're having challenges in this solution that I've provided in this video, so please ask questions in the comment section. Please don't forget to share, like and subscribe. See you.